Welcome to Sharing is Caring. I'm Elena, and today we are talking about our inner voice, that constant narrator running commentary on our lives, judging, helping, reflecting, worrying, encouraging. And most of the time, we barely notice it. And we will see three things that could help us to reflect on our lives and level up our mindset. So, flow and stay focused. Can the way you talk to yourself actually change the physical structure of your brain? The answer from neuroscience is more interesting than you might think. The researchers have been studying the brain, have been asking one specific question. Does that inner dialogue actually do something, not only psychologically, but neurologically? And today we are going to walk through its science. But let me be clear from the beginning. It isn't about toxic positivity or telling yourself that everything will be just fine when it isn't. It's about understanding the real mechanism in your brain. Let's begin with this foundational concept, neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity, from Greek language plastikos, means formed. It is the ability of the brain to take on new functions based on person needs and actions, to modify and reorganize its neural connections in response to environmental stimuli, experiences, learning, injury, and disease processes. Self-directed neuroplasticity. It's using the power of focused attention along with dedication, commitment, consistency, and hard work to redirect your choices and actions, thereby rewiring your brain to work for you and with your true self. For a long time, scientists believed that the brain is fixed after the childhood. You got what you got. But decades of research have overturned this idea completely. The brain is continuously adapting. The neurons that fire together wire together. Repeated thoughts, actions, beliefs, behaviors reinforce some neural connections, making pathways more efficient, faster, stronger, and automatic. This is the essence of Hebb's law, joining the brain areas together so they work as one mechanism and one unit and as one circuit. Now, where's the self-talk comes in? When researchers look at the brain of people engaging themselves in a constructive self-talk, things like reframing a problem, encouraging themselves through difficulty, or interrupting the patterns of negative thoughts, they've noticed the activation in the prefrontal cortex. This is our regulatory system. And this part is responsible for perspective, decision-making, and rational thinking, keeping our emotional reactions proportionate. In contrast, chronic negative rumination, catastrophizing relentlessly, self-criticism, replaying negative events, leads to activation of amygdala, our brain's threat detective system. And what important is here is that over the time, this pattern can influence the connectivity between emotional and regulatory networks. So this isn't just theoretical. Functional MRI scans, where researchers have observed the brain in real time, have demonstrated that cognitive behavioral techniques can lead to measurable changes in brain's activity and connectivity. At the core of these activities is all about to learn how to notice and reframe your inner dialogue. And it's not only how the person feels, it's about noticing how their neural circuits are organized. Important, a single thought doesn't permanently rewire anything. What's important is consistent repetition over time. The brain adapts gradually. It's like your muscle responds to a training. The goal isn't to force yourself to think positively in every moment. The goal is to understand that the pattern you practice more frequently are the ones that the brain gets better at running. So if you practice catastrophizing, your brain gets more efficient at catastrophizing. If you practice reframing, your brain gets better at reframing. Not overnight, but over time. And here are 3 things I want you to reflect on. Number 1, check your vocabulary. What words do you use when you talk about your life, the difficulties you're facing? Are those words opening doors or building walls? If you keep saying, I've been overwhelmed instead of I'm being challenged, it shrinks your ability to see the way out. Words are the software that your brain runs on. Make sure you aren't installing glitches. Number 2, chase wait what moment. When was the last time you went out of your way to find an idea that actually surprised you? Your brain is like a couch potato, but novelty is that what sparks new neural pathways. If you keep recycling the same thoughts, you're not learning anything new. You're not creating any new neural connections. So go and find something that might surprise you and where you might say, oh, I never look at this in that way. And number 3, relearning audit. We all have those deep-rooted beliefs that we've held onto for years. And I'm not saying you have to take and throw them in the trash. But what would happen if you re-examined one? Next time, take one belief that you've been holding onto for years and see it from the different perspective, through different lens of who you are today. Relearning, it isn't about being wrong. It's about updating your context and making sure you're not operating on an outdated version of yourself. So what do we actually take from this? Your inner dialogue isn't just abstract language. It's a neural activity. Every time your inner voice runs a pattern, whether it's self-compassion or self-criticism, curiosity or catastrophe, it's doing something physical in your brain. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to eliminate every negative thought. But it's worth asking, what pattern am I practicing most? What my brain is getting more efficient at? Remember, the brain adapts to what it experiences repeatedly, and it's not the motivational language. And understanding that might be the most important thing that you can do with this information. I'm Olena, so flow and stay focused.